Before we start, I just want to quickly say I'm super under the weather still, so if my voice sounds even worse than normal, I apologise. As of the 27th of March, the Nintendo 3DS eShop will be no more, so let me see you pay your respects by leaving a big, fat F down in the comments below. And yeah, I know, while I normally try and search high and low to find the most obscure titles on a system, there really is no time for that. So turn on your 3D slider and let's take a look at 10 of the best 3DS eShop exclusive games you must download before they are gone forever.
Father to step down. In the morning I would be king, but that night my father died.
Rage of the Gladiator asks the age-old question of what if Punch-Out's little Mac was taken out of the ring, stripped of his gloves and given a big ol' hammer and shield. Yep, this game takes the strategic, timing-based counter-attacking gameplay of the Punch-Out series and combines it with a fantasy-infused gladiatorial setting. I mean, what's not to like? It's Punch-Out with sorcery and monsters. The key to victory is memorizing each of the 10 bosses' feints and attack patterns and learning the precise moment to slash, counter, and block so you can unleash your own flurry of strikes. It's a simple concept, but if it's done right, like it is in Rage of the Gladiator, it can be endlessly entertaining.
Are you not entertained?
With an unrivaled sense of accomplishment when you finally take down your foe. When you're not whacking mythological baddies in the face, you will be using your hard-earned XP to boost your fighter's offensive, defensive, or magic powers, which to me was a nice touch that adds some extra depth and thought in how you choose to play. The game does come with a light story to tie the whole thing together, but it's the gameplay and the colourful and visually distinct gallery of enemies that will have you coming back time and time again. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball is one of those absolutely bonkers yet weirdly charming titles that you'll kick yourself for not picking up sooner, as the game's baseball themed minigame collection not only features a ton of wildly enjoyable and varied games to play, but is also packed with dialogue that will have you laughing throughout. In the game you interact with Rusty, an ex-star baseball player who's fallen on hard times. He doesn't get on with his wife anymore and he needs some money to feed his kids. So he does what any good dad would do and sells baseball video games for the Nintendo 4DS. Yeah, you heard me right, the Nintendo 4DS. This beautifully weird and playful narrative blends perfectly with the insanely enjoyable baseball themed minigames to give us something so off the wall and unique. It really is hard not to fall in love with Rusty and this game. Technically the game is free, but you only get one minigame with the download. The rest you'll have to purchase, but you can unlock discount tickets by getting high scores and even try to haggle Rusty down, which is a game in itself as use the right dialogue options and treats to get old Rusty to give you the best price available. Yeah, I told you it's a bit weird, but it's weird in the best way possible. Come on, you know you want to help old Rusty rekindle his relationship with his wife. Doggy style.
This is Melodia, a world of melody and music.
Developer Game Freak are mostly known for churning out Pokemon title after Pokemon title, but every now and again, Nintendo lets the developer stretch its legs and work on something truly different, and when they do, they deliver us absolute gems like Harmo Knight, a rhythm and music based action platforming adventure that will have you bobbing your head and tapping your feet as you play. Essentially, you endlessly run while collecting notes and tapping to the insanely catchy beats to jump, attack, and collect items. It's deceptively simple in theory, but in practice it's anything but, as the camera constantly shifts to keep players on their toes. The game even has you play as different musical warriors throughout that all have vastly altered abilities from the main character, and every now and then the game even changes up its genre. Mastering the game is a blast, learning all the visual and audio clues and perfecting your rhythm is the key to victory here, and is also satisfying when you get into the swing of it. Swing of it? See what I did there? Haha, no? Alright, okay, moving on. Hana Night also features some extremely cinematic boss battles and an absolute ton to unlock that will have you coming back time and time again to get the perfect score on each level. The charming gameplay is complemented by a world, characters, and art style that jump out of the screen too. And yeah, all of this makes Hana Night a must play for your 3DS.
Search with your 3DS. Catch with your 3DS. Let's go.
Okay.
Nintendo really do love to pack their consoles and handhelds with gimmicky features and just hope that one sticks. Well, unfortunately, its augmented reality camera feature was one such gimmick that didn't really take off. So it's nice to find a game that is actually good that also smartly implemented this often forgotten feature, which leads us to the Denpa Men series. 3 games that when playing kind of feels like if Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and even Final Fantasy got down and dirty together and had a weird baby. You see, in the game you have to collect these little oddballs called the Denpa Men. You do this by using the augmented camera feature to blast them out of the air, then catch them in a net, kinda like Pokemon Go. Each little fella has their own strengths and weaknesses and even sometimes special abilities. So find and make your perfect team and you're good to jump into some classic RPG dungeon crawling shenanigans. Yeah, that kind of sums up the first game. It's a ton of fun and a good way to prepare you for the godlike sequels that added a ton of features and a big, beautiful world crammed with so much to see, do, and interact with, and the sequels even boast a fully fledged story. And if you're thinking, yeah, the games look a bit weird, well, yeah, they are batshit weird. But to be honest, that just adds to their charm, and as all 3 can be purchased for super cheap, go out and get them before they're gone. You'll probably thank me later.
The Denpa Men.
You too can be a Denpa Man.
Look, I know, Rhythm Paradise Megamix may have a physical version in Europe, but good luck finding it, and you can eat a big bag of dicks if you think I'm going to pay £65 for it when I can get it for a fraction of the price on the eShop. And those in other regions have no choice, as it was an eShop exclusive in most parts of the world. So what is it, and why is it worth grabbing? Well, to put it simply, it's a music and rhythm based WarioWare game. So what you get is a ridiculously huge minigame compilation bursting with seriously stupid and charming visuals and activities. Its controls are simple and mostly see you pressing A at the right time in line with the beat, but it's the easy pick up and play, just one more go nature of the title that make this worthy of taking up space on your home screen. Each minigame is wildly different from the last, and all games pack their own varied art style too. It's a nice touch that keeps you playing just to see what weird and wacky thing you'll be doing next. Nintendo's first-party exclusives are normally the most well-known about titles on their respected systems, but one series that always gets overlooked, no matter what handheld it's on, is the Mario vs Donkey Kong series. And yeah, I know, the 2 Mario Donkey Kong games for the 3DS can be purchased physically in some regions. For most of us, it's an eShop download only, and I urge you to get both. Both of them are great, as not only are the games jam-packed with all the standard Nintendo charm and flair that we've come to love, they are also packed with some of the finest, innovative puzzle-based gameplay you will find on the handheld. Each game plays wildly different from one another, but yet the main aim of the game stays the same: move things around and guide your little mini Marios to safety.
June 4th, 2058, log entry 01, Major Edward K. Ever since Roswell, we've known we're not alone. Now, more than a century later, they found this hatch on the moon. Is this going to be our next giant leap? Or are we jumping into the fire?
I've already talked about the exceptional gem known as Moon on my Nintendo Hidden Gems DS list, but its episodic follow-up / remake, Moon Chronicles, is the best version of the game you can get. And yeah, as the 3DS wasn't blessed with many first-person shooters, if you love yourself some shooty bang bang as much as I do, then Moon Chronicles is a must-buy. Not only is the gameplay smooth and fluid, the game is absolutely dripping in isolated atmosphere and dread, something that's heightened by the game's stunning visuals, lighting, and sound. Sure, the game is a bit old school in design, but to me this just blends perfectly with the grungy, 80s sci-fi aesthetic and story to give gamers a true treat.
I, Shoko Azora, will fulfill my duty as second president of New Japan!
From the weird mind of cult favourite game developer Suda51 comes Liberation Maiden, a Zone of the Enders-like bullet hell mech shooter. Sure, the odd control scheme may take a while for you to get used to, but once you do, you'll be treated to a true, high-speed, carnage-filled spectacle that never gives you a moment to breathe. In typical Suda51 fashion, the bombastic gameplay is accompanied by a wild story that sees you play as the president of Japan, who must retake her country by jumping into her very own mech and blowing up all that stands in her way, obviously. Trust me, this is a thrill ride you're not going to want to miss. Sakura Samurai Art of the Sword initially piqued my interest as its blocky graphics gave me a rush of N64 nostalgia. Then, upon playing Sakura, I found myself sucked into one of the most challenging, yet immensely rewarding experiences I'd ever had on the 3DS. But be aware, quick reflexes and timing are a must when playing this one. And again, just like Rage of the Gladiator, the combat kinda has some punch-out mannerisms to it. This dance of evading and choosing when to attack to deal maximum damage goes such a long way to making you feel like a true, badass samurai warrior. And who doesn't want to be one of them? When you're not slicing your way through the game's various enemies, you'll be exploring a beautiful, Akami-like cartoon-esque Japanese land filled with tons of weird and wonderful characters, shops, and even mini-games to interact with. For the small price this game costs, the amount of content it has is exceptional. And if you could only afford one of these games on the list, I'd go with this one. This is a must play. Simplistically cute, yet highly addictive, Pushmo is one of those games that will have you scratching your head in bemusement 1 minute, then celebrating wildly the next, as while the game's simple nature of pushing and moving blocks is easy to pick up, the game gets mind-bendingly challenging as you progress. The puzzles get more grand in scope, and obtaining the flag needed to complete the level becomes a true test of your wits, especially as the game constantly throws new mechanics into the mix that will keep you guessing. The game is bursting with colour and creativity in its visuals, and the music absolutely pops. Pushmo even allows players to create their own mind-boggling levels to test out on their friends. Right guys, 3D sliders off, as that's it for today's video. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to try my best to cover every great eShop exclusive game I can before the shop closes for good. So be sure to let me know your favourites down below so I can try them out and maybe add them to the next list. I hope you guys all stay healthy, stay happy, but most importantly, stay tipsy.